Welcome back. In this video, we will continue our Kotlin learning journey to understand how we can help code make decisions using conditions. So let's first clear up our code. If you remember, we are building an app/game called Thumbfight, where we will have a scenario where we need to decide how much time is left for each thumb to continue hitting the button. So let's just put a simple condition here. So I'll just start with a variable time left. Let's suppose we have 4 seconds left, and then we'll write a simple condition to check whether the thumb can keep clicking or the game is over for it. So it will be a very simple condition. If the time left is greater than 0, then the thumb can keep playing. So very simple version of a condition. So let's run and test it. The program has executed and it has printed keep playing. So now if the time left is 0, we can see that nothing is printed. That is because when we wrote time left is equal to 0, the condition check is time left greater than 0. So only if the value of this variable is greater than 0, then only the code will flow inside this braces. So this is the block of if. This will only get executed if this condition is satisfied, which means if the time left is 1 or more, then the control or the compiler will come inside it, and then only this code will be executed. So what to do now? In this case, we will have an else block. This will get executed when the time left is equal to 0 or less than that. So here, let's type game over. So let us execute it again. So you can see now it has printed game over. So now again, if I make it 2, the program is going to print keep playing. So the if statement block accepts an expression which evaluates to a boolean, or it can also accept a boolean variable. Let us show you how it can accept a boolean variable. So let us give a meaningful name is time left is equal to time left greater than 0. So these parentheses are optional, but it helps to make the code more readable. And that is why I have put it here. The program will actually work without them also. So now if we execute it, the output is same, but instead of using an expression that evaluates to a boolean, we are using a boolean variable. So now we can also rewrite this if statement using another operator. So currently we have used a greater than operator. We can also use equal to operator. So in this case, we will have to swap the conditions, and we will have to rename our variable so that it conveys the correct meaning. So if time left is equal to 0, we were assigning that to a variable called is time over. So if time left is equal to 0, time over will be true, and then we will print game over. Otherwise, we will print keep playing. So let us test it out. If time left is 0, it will print game over. Now equals is a equality operator. So it will check whether the left side is equal to the right hand side. Now if I want to check inequality, I will use not or the exclamation mark. Generally in programming world, it is known as not. So not equal to. So then we will have to again rename is time left. And we will have to swap the conditions again. Let us test it. Time left is 0, so the print output is game over. Time left is 5. Then the output is keep playing. Now suppose I have a condition which is already initialized and I want to use the opposite value, then I can just use the not operator here. So it's giving us a warning, but I'm just using it to explain it to you how you can use the not operator. So I put the not operator. Let's execute it. So we get the same output of keep playing. Now if I change it to 0, I'll get game over. Yeah. So this is how conditions are generally written. So the if part in Kotlin, so the if statement also returns a value in Kotlin. Now I can have a val here, and instead of doing print ln or the print statement 2 times, I can just store the value in a variable, and at the end I can print this value. Game over. So what is happening is the if statement is executed, and whichever branch the code goes into, that value is actually assigned to the variable which we are using later. Now this is good when we have two branches of code. It's an either or operation, but in cases where we have more than two branches of code to figure out, then the if statement becomes very lengthy and unreadable. In such situations in Java, generally we use switch statement, but Kotlin doesn't have it. Kotlin has something called when. So suppose we are evaluating day of week. We want to decide, we want to store the day of week in an integer where 0 stands for Monday, 1 stands for Tuesday, and finally 6 will stand for Sunday. One thing to note is that I've started from 0 and not from 1. Generally in the programming world, we always start from 0. Even our loops will start from 0 to 99. If you want to run something 100 times, it is just easier that way. So let us take the variable day of week equal to Monday. So 0 stands for Monday, and then we will write this when. I'll again store the value in a variable. Likewise, if like the if statement, the when also returns a value. When day of week, when it is 0, return Monday. We can, the Java programmers might be confused that we are not writing return, but still the value is being returned. So Kotlin actually makes it easier for us. 2 will be Wednesday. So we know that days of the week will only be from Monday to Sunday. But because day of week is an integer, it can have values from 0 to 65,000. So just in case an invalid value is assigned to the variable, we will have this else block in which we will return an invalid day. So once the day is assigned, we are going to print. We'll use the string template that we learned in the last video, $day. So now if I run it, it's going to print day of week, Monday. We can test it for some other day. And if I give something like a very big number or even a negative number, it's going to print invalid day. Now suppose if you want to print whether the day falls in weekday or weekend, when actually provides us a utility where you can check based on range of values. So let's define our variable is weekend. We'll just be using the day of week again. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be false. 5 and 6 are going to be true. And the else part is also going to be false. I forgot the arrow. So let us again print using our template. So let us reset the day of the week to Thursday. So day of the week is Thursday, is weekend is false. Now if I change it to say Saturday, it's going to say day of week Saturday and is weekend true. So you don't have to write all the numbers. What you can do is you can use the in operator to define an int range, and then you can define 0 to 4. So 5 and 6 are just two values, so I won't be changing that. So you can see the output will still be the same for Saturday. Now if I change it to say Wednesday, it will say day of week Wednesday is weekend false. You can also use the not operator with in, such that what I can define is not in 5, 6. You can see the output is still the same. So we can use the in to evaluate whether they are in certain range and also whether they are not in certain range. So let's break this video here. In the next video, we'll be discussing about classes, objects, and instances. See you there.